Alright, this is Patriot 2517. Usually I'll do like some video game stuff or random clip or something like that, but I'm doing a little something different too. Um, so I'm doing a review of a comic book, The Punisher Born. Now, if you don't know who the Punisher is a gun-toting vigilante who kills criminals, alright? And he's very good at what he does. So yeah. And well, I decided to read. Yeah, Punisher Born is part of Marvel's mature imprint, Max Comics, which contains very explicit content and can contain excessive gore, language like F-bomb and all that, nudity, all that stuff. So yeah, R-rated comic book. All right, so this was one written by Garth Ennis. I think that's how you say his name. He's a Irish writer, comic book writer, and he's done Preacher. I think Hitman. He's done some, and he's especially revolutionized the Punisher to what he is now. And he wrote The Born, which is about the Punisher's service or Frank Castle's service before he became Punisher during the Vietnam War. And yeah, it took place in 1971 near the Cambodian Vietnam border. And they're at Firebase Valley Forge. I think that's a pretty cool name. So yeah. And so it's told from the point of view of one of his the Marines in his platoon. He pretty much makes the way how he looks up the castle is a little bit like, I don't know if y'all seen Platoon, but in Platoon, there's this guy who was pretty tough, and I'm talking about Tom Berenger if you've seen it, his part. He's a tough dude and tough leader. All right, except the only difference is that Frank Castle's a good guy, and Tom Berenger in Platoon was not a good guy. But yeah, they're both very. He's very tough, and it shows you how war can get to. If you're a history buff and like learning about the Vietnam War, this is a pretty good book because even the artist Derek Robertson, who did a phenomenal job with the artwork in this, even has a like I guess you could say a letter in the back describing how his dad was even in the Vietnam War, and even let his dad read it. His dad thought it was pretty good and pretty accurate. It shows how war can take like pretty much change you, especially how this one dude that was screaming at the end of it during the battle um, was lost his faith in God, you know. But that can also contribute to the fact that Garth Ennis is an atheist. But anyhow, um, so let me see here. Well, yeah, and it's just and even shows some of the war atrocities that has happened. The covers even show it, such as one with a soldier in his. I guess you could say is you can see the skull in him, and then you can see one cover has a guy covering his face, blood on his hands. But yeah, the artwork. I'll just go with the artwork right now. Artwork is great. It's not one of those ones where their faces are all like all faded about. Um, no, you can see their what they their emotions, you know, their facial expressions and all that. You can see the blood. But anyways, I was going to talk about the war crimes. Yeah, they talk about that a little bit as one Marine even he attempts to rape a woman. Castle shoots the woman to put her out of her misery. And the guy is he was a low life piece of crap who tried to do that. But yeah, Castle didn't approve of it, as I just said. And what is it? It's just realistic. It's just a realistic comic book on the Vietnam War. I mean, I even have a shelf of comics, like a little library of comics I have, mainly graphic novels actually. And I even have another little or another shelf that has history books, and I put the Punisher Born in with the history books instead of the comic books because I think it's that good of a comic book that or with that is associated with the Vietnam War you could put with it. But yeah, anyways, it's intense, and it just also shows how the Punisher kind of evolves to what he eventually becomes as his the I don't know if you have read other Punishers, you'll understand about how he narrates it. It's shown in parts of it as like a conscience, a dark conscience in the back of his head, and it kind of leaves you to wonder what that is. You know, is that actually Castle? Okay, or is that something that he's just suffering some really bad PTSD? You know. But yeah, out of 10, I mean, there wasn't really anything bad about this. I mean, it was a quick read, took me about 45 minutes to read, maybe an hour, and it was just a fun comic. I mean, I recommend it to anybody who likes the Punisher. I mean, if you love Spider-Man and hate killing people, well, this definitely ain't your kind, and this is not some for the little ones to read. But it's a fun comic book, and I'd probably give it a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. It's pretty good. And yeah, if also if you're a history buff, especially on the Vietnam War, pretty good book for you. So yeah, I'll see y'all later.